Okay, welcome back to the Postpartum Prep Podcast. Today I'm here with Jacqueline Fiedler from Your Babywearing Bestie. Jacqueline, could you just give us a little bit of an intro into who you are and what you do?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for having me. I am very honored to be in this space and to speak to your community um, of new and pregnant moms. My name is Jacqueline. I live in Los Angeles. I became a mom in 2020, so I have that COVID baby generation. Almost 6 year old. And I am a certified baby wearing consultant. And what that means is I am here to support families in their baby wearing journey. And that just means from someone who is absolutely clueless on what baby wearing is, or what a baby carrier is, or why they need it, to people who have a carrier and want support using it. It's the full spectrum, whatever you need help with, to help and encourage you to hold your babies and receive the nurturing and nourishment that comes your way when
Yeah,
you hold your babies. So,
yeah.
yeah, I love my work and I'm obsessed, and yeah, just always love chatting about it. So.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that we got you here today to talk to us. Out of
Yeah.
curiosity, what kind of led you into working as a baby wearing consultant?
Yeah. So I really love like our background stories because I feel like the journey, you don't ever know where it's going when you're going through it, and it's such a struggle and so hard, but then you get to
Yeah.
the juice of what you feel really lit up about, and it's like, oh, I see all the puzzle.
Yes.
Um, so for me, I spent a lot of time in Africa and in India when I was in my early 20s,
Okay.
and I just loved watching moms who would be working like very serious physical labor, and who were carrying babies on their backs and cooking the meals and taking care of whatever it was. And the juggle just felt so natural on their body. And I had never really seen it look just like the baby worn on the mom just looked like a natural extension of her body. So
Hmm.
um, I just was fascinated by it, and it kind of inspired me to get interested in birth work. I studied um, with a like an elder doula midwife birth worker, and I taught yoga for 10 years in prenatal space, and all of this was before I had my own children. And I think it just led me to the path once my niece was born. She kind of came into the world with kind of a troubled reality, and she wasn't
Okay.
with her mom for almost the first year of her life. And so this was 9 years ago. We carried her everywhere. We carried the baby who was, distant from their physical mom. But this is my niece, so my sister's daughter.
Yeah.
And so carrying
Okay.
her was kind of mind blowing. Being around a baby was mind blowing. And my it was like an all family in on taking care of this tiny little infant. So
Yeah.
getting through that inspired me a lot, and then having my own kids, I was like, you have to have a way to exist and have your hands and have energy, and baby wearing is one of those ways. I think is instant, pretty much, when you start
Yeah.
using your carrier. So yeah, that's sort of my journey.
Wow, that's really interesting. And I don't know, we have a lot of obviously moms listening to this podcast, but something I always like to emphasize is these ways of connecting with your baby and bonding with your baby, like baby wearing. It doesn't have to just be with the mom. It really, these can be ways of supporting well-being for anyone who's caring for babies. And
Yeah,
I was wondering if we
absolutely.
could. Yeah. Would you tell us a little bit more about how baby wearing can be really helpful for parents and any other caregivers?
Yeah, I was saying grandparents can wear babies, doulas can wear babies, dads can obviously wear babies. Other parents support anybody around the child who you feel it's totally your decision, but whoever you feel can support you by wearing the baby and
Hmm.
bond with the baby, it's a beautiful opportunity. I know a lot
Yeah.
of moms think they'll be the only one, and then dad starts wearing the baby, and it feels so magical, like the
Hmm.
oxytocin for especially even for a man who's going to receive it in a different way. It is, I know for my husband, there were many like mind blowing experiences holding his daughters and carrying them and being able to let me rest. So there's just so
Yeah.
much in the way of how your family can
Yeah.
support you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you
And
go into the benefits, it's like
mhm.
there's just endless. One day, about like a year ago, I sat down and I tried to write them all out, like what
Right.
came to my head. And I have a list over 50 benefits to baby wearing, and they're
Oh,
not
wow.
all for baby, and they're not all for
Yeah.
the wearer.
Right.
Um, but there's like so much for both. Like you
Yeah.
both receive the benefits. And I think
Yeah.
that's the number one that people don't really realize is that baby wearing isn't a container that you put your baby into so that they can be amused and you can go about your business.
Mm.
It is a connection piece,
Hmm.
and when we wear our babies, the benefit is it's going both ways. It's just energy moving between the wearer, between the baby, and
Yeah.
um, and so it's I think a lot of people don't realize how it can be beneficial for you as well.
Yeah. And often, I mean, personally, um, just like the practical aspects of it, and then also the emotional aspect of it as well. I know you said you have 50 things on that list, but do you think you could give us a few of the highlights?
Yeah, absolutely. So the oxytocin is not a small thing. It is huge in your healing postpartum and in even how your child starts to know you. Oxytocin is so powerful. To experience that with your baby is magical. And that is, I think, one of those things like once you get your baby on and they're in the right position and they feel really good and you have that experience, it's hard to put words to it,
I
but
know exactly
it's
what you mean.
it's
Yeah.
so good. It's kind of like when you take a really good contact nap too, and it's just like
Hmm.
your baby's on you and you know that it's just the best feeling. um,
Yeah.
that is so powerful because when we're in postpartum and it's really hard to manage the lack of this and the resources and the sleep and all of that, being able to have that moment where you get a flood of good
Mhm.
feeling, it is
Yeah.
so important. It is a win. And we need wins in early
Yeah.
postpartum because we've got to have the energy to keep going because I think we want to stop. But instead, I look at baby wearing as like, it's like, I don't know. It's
Something
just
to
like
take the edge
a,
off.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
Yeah.
there's that. There's one, I like the really sort of odd benefits that you don't hear about as
Yeah.
much because they're really
Go for it.
powerful for the postpartum
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
um Getting outside, that is like massive.
Mm. Hmm.
Being able to be out, and even if it's in your own backyard or down your street or if you're going to a public place, it feels so good to sometimes get out of the bubble even for a moment,
Mm.
and this gives you the
Hmm.
ability to do it without lugging all the stuff, without
Hmm.
needing anyone else to help you. It just can be you and baby, and you're in your
Hmm.
own space, but in the world. And that is so good for your mind when you're tired. Getting in the sun
Hmm.
is like number one. It feels so good. Um,
Hmm.
it's a conversation starter, which is really great too in postpartum because postpartum is
Yeah.
lonely. It's so
Yeah.
lonely and it's so hard. And when you can go out, even if it's, I mean, there's going to be days where you don't want anyone to talk to you. And you're like, if somebody asks me how old my baby is again, or says, oh, whatever, hands full, like, there's going to be those days, but there's also going to be the days where, especially if you're home alone with your child, where you are going to be starving for a little bit of
Mm.
communication and connection. And
Human
so baby
adult
wearing,
interaction.
yeah, it's like baby wearing's connecting you with your baby, but it's also like bringing you into the
Yeah.
outside world. And people will ask you, whoa, that's such a beautiful carrier. Or like, oh, I had that one, or I had this one, or, and it's a
Yeah.
conversation starter. And it's a really neat piece with that. Um,
I
the
always used to
more
get like I just remember so many people just going, he looks so cozy in there. Like
I
it's
know,
just like
yeah.
that I
And
think it's also
that's like,
reassurance for me as well. Like I'm doing something right. Everyone else, like, yeah.
exactly. And it increases your responsiveness to your baby's
Mm.
cues when
Hmm.
you have them on your body, and you can
Yeah.
actually feel the shift in their body when they need you. And it can be
Yeah.
that precise. I mean, if you're obsessed on the level I am, it can get that nitty gritty and precise of like, I am communicating with my child in a way that I just understand them so deeply because they're right
Yeah.
there and I'm
Yeah.
watching their breath and all of that. But
Yeah.
again, it can be as simple as I've got my baby on the carrier. I can go make a cup of tea and like throw together a snack,
Yeah.
have a moment. My child is safe. I don't have to worry about putting them somewhere.
Yeah.
You can keep your child contained from, for me as a COVID mom, it was like, or during COVID times, it was like, I didn't know, it was so scary. The world was so scary. I could have my child
Yeah.
just right there and
Yeah.
nobody was like in our bubble. We just
Yeah.
had our own
Yeah.
space. There's so many benefits. And
Yeah.
yeah, I could go on forever, obviously.
I know. I loved what you said about even just for me, it's like any time that my son was not on my body, like my mind was in two places. Like I literally couldn't focus on anything other than like, well, where is he? What is he doing? Is he okay? Like, because I think
Yeah.
you are, especially when they're so young, you are just so in tune and connected. And then when he's on my body, it's like, okay, I feel actually, now that he's on me, I feel more like one person again because I'm not doing that trying to have my mind in two places thing. I'm like, my
Right.
mind is
And
here. I can feel him right here.
your baby
Yeah.
also doesn't, I mean, up to a point, like they don't know that they're separate from you.
Mm,
So your baby is going to be screaming, crying, alerting, whatever it is to get your attention because it's like they're without you is completely foreign to what they know. They were
yeah.
in you, cooking and growing and hearing you and walking with you and being with you and feeling all your sense of your emotions and your sensory system, all of it, like they're right there to experience that
Mhm.
all when they're in your body. And then when you have this infant and this baby come forth into the world, it is, I mean, this is brand new for them. It's stepping into like a room with people you've never met, never seen, in like a building that is complete, like I don't know how, it's
You've
just
never
like the
like, yeah.
they
You've
don't
never even
they
seen
don't
light before.
know, right, and they don't
No.
know that that connection is separate. So when they're
Yeah.
on you, they calm down. It's like every part of their body system is designed
Mm,
to like grow and develop with
mm,
their mother or care provider close. So
mm,
their digestive system is stimulated by us holding them.
mm.
I mean, so many aspects of their development is meant, they're meant to be carried. We are meant to be
Yeah.
carried as
Yeah.
a species. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And even I don't know if you have heard anything about this. I read like a research uh some kind of research article once talking about how even us as moms, we have like some evolutionary kind of developments, I guess, that point towards baby wearing being like what we were also designed for.
Absolutely. I love those pieces. I think they're so fascinating. Like for recently, I had this experience of carrying and holding in a carrier my neighbor's son who's 3 weeks, and I had him really high on my chest, and I like was looking at a video that I had recorded, and his head was right here, and I was like, this is the space where we want close enough to kiss is like baby's head right
Hmm.
here when they're tiny
Yeah.
infants for a lot of reasons. But I was looking at my body and I was like, this is like a shelf, like over my heart center for like my
Yeah.
baby's head to rest.
Yeah.
And it's like we are so designed. Now, is that factual? Is that scientifically proven? I don't know, but I argue for it because I think it makes
Hmm.
sense. It makes sense.
Hmm.
There is research that has been done on like the preference on which hip you hold your baby on, and there's
Hmm.
actually more people that prefer one side, and it's just a really interesting connection because that side of the body is connected to the side of your brain that helps you respond to your environment and protect
Wow.
basically what's in front of
Yeah.
you. So it's like we've naturally evolved to know these things, but like
Mm.
in normal culture, in our hustle and bustle, like we're not thinking this hip is boosting, this part of my brain or helping baby's development by bringing his knees in a certain posture. Like we're not thinking
Mm.
about those things. But I think part of what I'm so interested in my work is like, well, why aren't we thinking about those things? And why can't we
Mm.
like think they're incredible? Like, why can't
Mm.
those things be, you know, just as important as what the carrier looks like or there's just so much to
Yeah.
be so amazed by. Now, not everybody has
Yeah.
to geek out on that level, but there was someone I was talking to recently who said when people know the benefits of something, they play into it more. Like you receive more from
Mm.
it when you understand where you're heading. And I think it's really cool
Mm.
to know that our body is um, postpartum is still creating the life of this child in so
Mm.
many ways, and
Yeah.
they're gonna need to be held. Like there
Yeah.
wasn't swings, there wasn't snooze, there wasn't gadgets and all that stuff,
Mm.
bouncers before. It was just human body. So
Yeah.
your baby naturally is going to need to be held, no matter if you have the easiest, non clingy, non Velcro baby, they need to be held.
Hmm.
And so the baby carriers just like giving you a little
Yeah.
hand with that, a little support.
Yeah. It's amazing. I think I kind of love what you touched on a little bit about why aren't we all just, why is this not obvious to all of us? And I think one thing that moms often get is this message like, actually, you shouldn't hold your baby too much because you're going to spoil them or they're going to get used to it. I was wondering what you would say to a mom who might be getting those kinds of messages.
Yeah. Um, I feel for you is kind of like the first, or I've experienced what you've experienced. I've thought it myself. I mean, there's so many parts of motherhood that I think it is so easy to question ourselves and to get caught up in what we think we're supposed to do or how we're supposed to do it. And I think that is such a source of like discomfort in motherhood and
Mm,
angst in motherhood and anxiety in
mm,
motherhood is
mm,
just that part of us that's like we intuitively know, but then this other really loud voice or experience in us that like wants to do it right. We want to
mm,
do it right. Like, who doesn't want to feel like they're giving their child the best beginning to life?
mm,
And I think sometimes things are said and they're not always said with the fullest meaning, but they can be
Mm,
tossed around. And when you're in the vulnerability of early motherhood and new to this all, those things are so loud, so loud.
mm,
Like they can be louder, the criticism voices or the
mm,
what ifs or even the intrusive thoughts, like all that can be so much louder than you're doing enough, you're doing a great job, look at your baby thriving. I know it's a hard day, but like you still got up. Like that stuff doesn't really matter for some reason when we're in the trenches. It's like we attach sometimes um, to there's just so much fear and we're gonna mess this up. And you cannot spoil your baby.
mm,
It's just point blank. You can't spoil an infant who is designed to be close to you and
mm,
designed to be held and nurtured. And um, they, it's like they need us for so
mm,
much that if you're not, we're all going to do things on our own way and in our own time. And with, some parents are going to hold their babies all day. Some are going to need a place to put their baby down for a while. Some are going to need other arms to hold their baby. But the baby's
mm,
got to be held. And to say that you're coddling them, or, I mean, I've heard things, your baby's not going to know how to walk because you hold them so much, or the spoiling. The whole spoiling thing, I always hear people say the cliche thing like a baby can't spoil but food can, and where the baby's not food. And it's like the whole thing is just kind of funny to me because
mm,
I know it feels so real, and I know we say things sometimes without such emphasis and meaning, but new moms are so vulnerable. So if you
mm,
hear things and they're starting to like get at you, I mean, it's natural to feel that way too. And
mm,
you know your child, you are learning your child at the same time, and
mm,
carrying your baby is only going to offer you more independence as baby grows and offer baby more independence as they grow because they are learning about the world from your view. So they're not
mm,
learning about the world just by being pushed in, a stroller that is at a different level.
mm,
Like they're seeing how you interact with the world, how you react to challenge, how you repair after conflict. They're seeing all of that,
mm,
whether they're knowing what it is or not. Like they're watching from that level, and it is such a deep part of education that you can't give your child if you believe that you're spoiling them by offering comfort and closeness. So
mm.
yeah, challenge it. If you hear things and they don't feel right, challenge it or put it aside and keep your like heart aflame as best that you can. And it is so hard, but like your child and you are not
You're not
yeah, I don't
spoiling.
know where I'm going. But yeah.
No. I often like to remind parents, it's like, I think people do get really worried about this. Like, well, if I hold them now, they're gonna want to be held. Like, I've got to teach them that I'm not gonna hold them because otherwise they're gonna want to be held. But I'm like, no, when you're holding them, that doesn't teach them that they get to be held. You're just responding to their needs because they're already asking you to be held. If you're feeling like you're being drawn to pick them up, it's probably because they're crying for you to pick them up, right? And like,
Yeah.
I think
And
we get this message that,
totally. And it's powerful too because for those moments where you're like, I don't want to carry, I mean, there are going to be moments. There's moments where I'm sorry. It is so beautiful. It is so magical. It is so sacred. It is so much presence and all this stuff. And we know it's so good. But there are moments where like, get off of me. I can't take it anymore. You're gonna have
true.
those moments.
Yeah.
And I think it's like knowing where was I going with that? I'm not sure where I was going. with
It's
that.
okay. I think I get what you mean. Like it's also a reality that sometimes you might feel like you don't want to hold your baby for a second
Yeah,
as
oh,
parents
okay,
where
yes. Yes. And the point being is that sometimes, and it's a really interesting conflict because sometimes you want that moment to yourself and you're feeling
Mm,
touched out but nobody
mm,
else is around and that baby needs to be held, so
mm,
you can put your baby in your arms and struggle through it and try to do your other stuff and baby's wiggling and not settling, or you can get them in a
mhm,
position that actually helps their body calm down, helps their nervous system regulate and really mesh with yours, and then it's this weirdest thing happens. Your touched out feeling and
mm,
your I'm so overwhelmed and your fears and overthinking and intrusive thoughts and I just can't take it anymore. All of that somehow gets quieter. Like that's like the thing that happened to me that got me obsessed was like that feeling of all that loudness just
mm.
you're with your
Yeah, I relate.
baby and it's like, yeah, and there's
Mhm,
ways, so it's like you're gonna hold them anyways, so finding a
mm,
way to do it that is supportive is the whole
mhm.
goal.
Yeah, I think it's so true. It's a really nice, or not nice, but like a really clear vision that you just painted and like reminding me of when my son was younger and like I'd be trying to do things in the kitchen, holding him in one arm, and he's just crying, and I'm like, "Ugh, I can't even do anything because I'm trying to hold him with one arm versus just putting him in the, and like I'm feeling so overwhelmed, right? And I'm just like, I just want you to sit down and like stop crying and just let me do this. But it's like, I gotta either way, he's gonna need support. So it's like I might as well put him in the carrier and then he's just happy and I can just go about my day.
Yeah, exactly, and then
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, and
And I
it's
don't
it's
have
a
that same like overwhelmed feeling because it's not like a constant struggle to get him to calm down, right? It's just like he's
yeah.
just on me.
And
Mm.
as they grow up, that independence doesn't stifle. If anything, they know that they can go out, experience the world, see the world, receive its benefits. And like when it's overwhelming for them, they know at least, let's say till preschool, or maybe I don't know how long it'll last. I have a 6 year old, so that's what I know. But they will come back to you because they will come back to you for that nourishment that they receive
Mm.
from the closeness. And that again is so, it's like it just keeps multiplying. Like they will have the confidence to explore the world because they know there is a place to come back to also.
Mm. Mhm.
So another benefit.
Yeah. You are their safe space, and it's like, yeah, the more they know they have that
Yeah.
safety there to return to, the easier it is for them to go out and explore the world.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing all of these benefits, and I hope that we've kind of painted a picture for the pregnant moms who might be listening about why you might want a baby wear, some of the benefits of baby wearing. If a pregnant mom is listening to this and wondering what do you think they should know about getting started with baby wearing? Maybe are there any safety tips, any tips for comfort, anything like that?
Yeah. So I always start with, well, what's your goal? And a lot of the time, a can you hear me? It sounds like
Mhm.
okay.
I
A
think the
lot of
leaf
the
blower just stopped. For anyone who's listening, we had a bit of a drama because I had a leaf blower outside my apartment and I think it just stopped and I feel like maybe the sound just went like whoosh.
okay. Okay, so brand new. You're pregnant, let's say, you're getting closer to baby arriving, and you're seeing lots of advertisements on social media or baby list type of programs or things, and you're seeing baby carriers come by. At this time in our, I would say here, I'm in the US, it isn't the first thing on a lot of people's list to buy a carrier, but it becomes one of the most used items if you
Mhm.
find like a really good match for you and you're comfortable and your
Mhm.
baby's comfortable. So I would say before you just knee jerk add them to your registry, I would take a minute to kind of try to understand or envision like what you want out of it. So what I mean by that is I there are so many different ways that we all experience postpartum. So some of us will be doing a 40-day ritual at home in bed. Some will be observing like the 5-5-5, 5 days in bed, 5 days around bed, or I can't remember the whole thing at the moment, but there's so many different traditions. And I think that category of postpartum where maybe that individual has a doula or has a partner or has a mother or someone else, an auntie who is really supporting them as well so that they're able to really rest back and experience the bonding with their baby. That's like one individual experience of postpartum, and that is really different than a mother who is having her baby and has to go back to work in 6 weeks and wants to get as much time and experience and memories with their newborn. So they want to take them to, I don't know, wherever to visit all their family. They want to go see some, sightsee some places and have their baby in pictures, or they're out and sort of adventuring in the world with their child. That's a very different postpartum experience. There's women who have the complete unexpected that happens, a traumatic birth experience, it's just not feeling like I thought it would, a birth that didn't go the way it was, intended or wanted or desired. And that postpartum experience is going to be very different than one of these other kind of archetypes of postpartum, if you will. So there's all these different ways to experience it. There's people who are rebuilding right away. Like, I want to be active with my baby. It's not really about adventuring and sightseeing and taking the pictures. It's more about like, I'm going to be walking. Like, I want to walk as fast as, as soon as I can. I want to get whatever. And that's fine. That's great. Like, my experience was really different from all of those. And that's fine. Like, I don't, I don't think we have to attack bounce back culture so much as we do. I think if that's the reality that you want, that's your choice, that's your life, that's your baby, let's do it safely. Let's find you a carrier that's going to match that experience so that you really can get what you want. Because what you really want is the experience of, this is it's okay to be a mom and to still like go after what I want, and that like do that.
Yeah.
However that looks. I mean, one of the benefits I have to say, because it's coming up right now, that is never spoken about, but is so powerful and was life-changing for me, was how I viewed my body when I started baby wearing was very different than my experience of not really understanding how my body works postpartum. When you have your child and you see that your body is that shelf for their head by your heart center, or is that nourishment, or is that closeness, it is like so healing for how we view our bodies. So if we're one of those more bounce back moms who's baby wearing, she might actually find like a nice, healthy flow with it, where it's not just about achieving the look, but it's more about like the connection is making me okay with my body, and I can do what I need and want with my body and feel like I'm still a mom and I'm still in connection. Because a lot of people want to have that space but can't physically have space away from
Yeah.
their child. So yeah, there's so many different postpartum experiences, and I think that's why just going and clicking on whatever carrier you see that is super
Mm,
popular or that is coming up for you algorithmically or whatever doesn't necessarily mean it's one that is meant to fit how you are going to experience postpartum. And I think the
mhm,
best thing to do is to have a choice, pick a choice because you know you want something that's cozy and soft because you are around your house only for those first few months. Or you know you're going to be out walking and getting out and exploring things, and you want something that feels quick and easy and supportive. Um, so I think it's just picking a choice that is appropriate for your baby's age, size, development. So, a
mhm,
newborn carrier that is designed for newborns, and then
mhm,
having a pivot plan if that's not how it looks when postpartum
mhm,
comes. If it's the unexpected and you need an easy win and you chose a ring sling and you can't figure out how to get the ring sling on, be willing to be like, I'm not just going to get another ring sling and try it again because maybe it's the fabric or maybe it's this and that. Like, try a whole new style of carrier sometimes can be really supportive as well.
mhm,
To just being able to pivot with how life experience is. And I think that's motherhood, is that you can
mhm,
plan as much as you can for postpartum, but it's going to look completely different than you envision. So being willing to have something that's appropriate for those first few months. And then
mhm.
as baby gets bigger and you're like, I could use something else, or I'm more curious and I know what I'm looking for now, then you can kind of venture out and get more of the like maybe one that you're saving up for more. And with
Yeah.
safety, it just comes down to a few quick things. And it's so easy and so possible to baby wear safely
Mm,
that we get stuck in kind of our mind of overcomplicating it. If you know what you're looking for, you can achieve a very safe baby carrier fit easily. And
mhm,
I mean, I have it down to like 5 things that I offer as a free guide. Um, there are so many different acronyms that you can use, but really what it takes is you have to feel what safety feels like in your body with your baby. You can't watch me
mm,
on Instagram or watch a tutorial or look at the manual that's kind of confusing and like know from that what a safe carry feels like. So
right.
to me, it's about, I really love having a checklist that I give people because it offers them the ability to like look at it, try things, and be like, okay, that's feeling this way. This is what a safe fit feels like. Now I can create the muscle memory, and when I'm out and about and it's life is
Mm,
real and not like sitting in the perfect moment to get your baby in, you'll know how to fix and adjust because you have the feeling of it already.
that's
And
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, that's such a
so
different perspective than I've heard before, but actually makes so much sense to me because, when you're out and about in daily life, you're not going to be running through that acronym in your mind 24/7. Like,
no.
are they still here? Are they still here? Are they still XYZ? But you are going to be able to feel, oh, they feel like they've shifted down, or oh, they feel like, yeah, that's a
And
really, I
you
really,
do. And if
yeah.
you're, I think the biggest thing for brand new parents who are interested in getting a baby carrier
Mm,
is that there are people like myself, and there are plenty of others who want to help you and will support you. And
yeah.
it is up to you to be like, just help me. And the second you say the word help me, I'm rushing in to help you because to carry
Mm,
your baby should feel good. It should
mm,
feel comfortable. You should feel confident. It shouldn't be, oh my gosh, my baby gonna suffocate because I don't know like how to do it, or I'm just gonna live with this. It's like really hurting me back, but I'm just like, the baby's there. It's okay. She's asleep. So what does it matter? Or she looks this way, so I'll copy her and do it. Or all of that. Like, that's
Mm,
not clarity. When you put your
mm,
car seat in your car and you're driving your baby around and you know the risk of what can happen if you were to get in an accident, and if your car seat wasn't buckled in, or if the straps weren't on them, like, you, or sometimes when you put it on, like, maybe a little quicker and lazier, because, like, let's be real, there are those times, or they get an arm out, whatever, things happen. Like, we take that seriously most of the time when
mm,
we're putting our child into that kind of device. And
mm,
while baby wearing and your baby carrier isn't something that you put your child into and then look away, it is
mm,
something that requires the same level of vigilance and understanding.
mm, mm,
And like, then it becomes second nature. Like, I know you have a 2-year old. It's like, at 2 years old, you can put your child in the car and you're not like worried, did I get the height right of the buckle or this or that, or are they like breathing, or is their neck, like, you're more confident with it. So just valuing wearing your baby safely. And that's why,
mm.
like, I just, it's so funny. It's like, why I'm like, why am I on Instagram creating content about baby wearing? And like, why am I trying to make it attractive and fun and enjoyable? Because it should be. Because if we put value
Mm.
into carrying our babies safely, then like, the sky's the limit. Then like, you
Yeah.
can get whatever carrier you want to look that's beautiful and cute and matches your outfits and whatever, but you know how to do it right.
Mm,
And you're, it's like, it's a people's medicine. You should know how to carry your baby. And
mm,
unfortunately, a lot of us don't. And
mm.
so, value learning the couple quick little things, and you can wear your baby safely.
So you have a free checklist to help with learning these things?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
can
I have a little list that's just it's 1 page long. I made it 1 page long so that you could print it out, throw it in your diaper bag, have it with you as you're learning your carrier. It works for every kind of carrier. So if it's a soft structured carrier, a ring sling, a stretch wrap, a woven wrap, whatever you're using to carry your baby,
Mhm,
there's just about five, with a few language around some of them, steps.
mhm,
And once you get those steps, you can't unsee it. It's like,
mhm,
people always tell me all the time, they'll follow my content and then they'll be like, I saw someone who was wearing their baby unsafely. And it's like, you just, your
mhm.
brain, it becomes second nature. So,
Yeah. We were
these
just
are,
watching a
yeah,
show last night and I was like, I said to my husband, I was like, that's not safe baby wearing. But I know you do like is it you have some on your Instagram account like showing baby wearing companies themselves that are actually not showing safe baby
yeah,
wearing. And
yeah.
yeah, it can be really
And
hard for
that's,
when you're pregnant. You actually might be being influenced by these unsafe baby wearing techniques because nobody's telling you that they're unsafe unless you know to look for it.
yeah. And safety is such a small aspect of the baby wearing
Mm,
experience. And I
mm,
think I want to glorify that, because while I do want to alert attention to certain things that are super easy fixes, you see
mm,
them everywhere, and they're the smallest part of what I really care about
mm,
as far as the mother baby bond, but it is like the most important part to achieve that. So I'm not sure if I said
mm.
that correctly of how I
I get
intend,
what you
but
mean.
yeah,
You
like,
have to know how to do it safely in order to even be able to do it.
yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
can do it unsafely, but you're gonna be distracted. You're not going to be
Mm,
receiving as much of the oxytocin benefits, because you're probably gonna be carrying your baby's head in your hand because they're too
mm,
low and they're not resting in the place where is intended by our body design,
mm,
as we talked,
mm,
and to hold their airway safely and to hold
mm,
their spine with structure and
mm,
support. Where we have them on our body affects all of that. So
mm,
if we have the understanding of a few quick things like the height of baby on your body, whether their chin is dropped to their chest or if their chin is, away from their chest and they're breathing freely, because this is kinking an airway. This is like the most common one is we
With
see
your chin
babies and
tucked.
carriers
Yeah.
with their chin tucked or back or to the side. And this is airway
Okay.
cartilage for a newborn that doesn't
Yeah.
have they don't have the neck strength to be like, that hurts. Let me,
Right.
put my
How
head back
about
up. Or,
kind of their head turned to the side like this?
yeah, head to the
Sorry, for anyone
side
who's
is,
listening, we also are going to be sharing this on YouTube. So if right now we're kind of talking
yeah.
about some like we're doing some body
Let me show
movements, but
you with the baby because that is ideal is to have the head to the side, but not
okay.
tilted, overextended in any direction. So
Okay.
having your baby like, this is a doll, so I can manipulate it and it's not weird. I'm using it as a,
Not a real baby.
education. Yes, but like this is, first of all, this is a lot of people are wearing their babies super low. They
Right.
think
At
this
breast
is
height
close
is too
enough to
low.
kiss because I can still kiss my
Mm,
baby's head. But
mm,
this is
mm,
soft tissue right by their little
mm.
airways, their nose, their mouth.
Okay.
And it's very easy for a child to, a baby who has no idea they're separate from you, to
Mm,
just come into you and be in that, in that area that creates risk
mm, mm,
versus a baby that is on your chest and head to the side is super natural actually,
mm.
because
Yeah.
now I can give my baby the ability to see what's going on here. They're going
Mm-hmm.
to practice slowly how to move their head. Always with a newborn,
Mm.
I'm always surprised how like they're so floppy, but they also make these really tight
Yeah.
moves
Yeah.
sometimes. So having the carrier having here, I can also come in and like shift my baby's head to the other side if they're, I wouldn't turn their neck, but if
Yeah.
they if they,
If they
if I
kind of
was
led the
worried
movement.
about flat head or
Mm.
any issue, this is just such an ideal place on our body to carry our baby.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
we just don't want to see the chin tucked because
Drooping down.
your
Yeah.
baby's airway is very sensitive. So,
Mm.
close enough to kiss is high up, keeping their chin off their chest. There are some comfort measures that you can do as well that also support safety, and it's simple. And again, once you see it, you kind of get it, and then you're like, oh, my baby's my baby's actually more comfortable when I wear safely. And that's what always
Mm.
surprises people. They're like, oh, it's not just about like the chin tucked or like the knees being, the legs being, dingling. Like when you move your
Mm.
baby into that position where they're ideally meant to be and sit, like you are supporting their spine in a way that makes
Mm.
them pretty much feel weightless on your body with a good carrier.
Mm.
So if you're
Mm.
not receiving comfort, if you're feeling unsure, if you're feeling like this isn't a confident thing, then I hope that we can kind of like celebrate baby wearing like we do lactation, or like we do work with postpartum doulas, or whatever, whoever else you're taking your baby in the first few months of their life or having into your space.
Mm.
Baby wearing consultants, that's what we're there to do as well, just to help you understand how to hold your baby to receive like all those benefits.
Amazing. Oh, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on before we end this episode today?
Yeah, definitely get in touch if you're unsure of, how to hold your baby or what carrier to get or any of that. I in the new year, I'm going to have a resource available to new families that is going to actually, we talked about some of those like postpartum experiences,
Mm-hmm.
and I have kind of honed in on those a little bit more. And I
Okay.
have a resource that's going to show you those as more like a blueprint. And
Okay.
then in whatever experience you're having, you can go ahead and see like what carriers are going to support that experience best. And it's going to
Oh,
come down to
awesome.
like style of carrier and then also brand
Okay.
recommendations. So,
Okay.
really quick and easy and supportive resources, and just make this fun and enjoyable,
Hmm.
this experience of holding your baby. And yeah, like
Oh,
it's
amazing.
yeah.
That would be so helpful for a lot of families, I'm sure. I feel like when you were kind of talking about these different like archetypes of postpartum, it reminded me of how as I'm a lactation counselor and how I talk about pumps like to pregnant families because it's kind of like which pump should I buy? And it's really like, well, it really depends on like what you're using it for. And I think when I used to think about baby wearing or baby carriers, it's a bit about the aesthetic, it's about what's trendy. And actually, I live in the Caribbean heat. Maybe there could have been a better option for me than like this really like a wrap that my son was actually sweating, which actually is signs of overheating, which is actually not very safe for a baby.
Yeah.
Um, but that was just kind of what was trendy at the time. And it's actually maybe there was something that could have been a bit more practical for me, but I had no idea. So I think this would be a really helpful
Yeah.
resource. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people don't realize how much is out there. Like they're just
Yeah.
seeing what is trending or what is has the most like influencers pushing. And
Yeah.
some of those carries are great, and some of them
Hmm.
aren't going to feel as great for you and your experience. So
Hmm.
finding someone, like most places have someone who does what I do, and you
Hmm.
can actually come into their space and try on different carriers, or you can hire someone like myself to like stand in front of a camera and try them on for you and tell you the
Hmm.
differences. So there's so many
Hmm.
ways, like it's not again, a lot of us are just here for the heart of what we do and we want to help you.
Hmm.
So it's like,
Yeah.
no excuses. Let's make this comfy.
Yeah.
Let's make this exciting for you. And if your baby is overheating or your back is hurting or whatever scenario it is, be willing to talk it up with someone and find another way to help you carry your baby
Mm.
that you're inevitably gonna need to carry anyway. So
Yeah.
find a way to do it that feels good and
Yeah.
right for you.
I think it's so sad to, I hear sometimes like, oh, well, my baby just doesn't seem to like it, or I just don't find it comfortable. But then they're kind of left without any other options for, those moments like we talked about when it would really just be helpful if you could wear baby in a carrier, but maybe actually if we could give some support around. Exactly in the same way, like you said, like how we would do with lactation or sleep. If we can give some more support for baby wearing and really recognize that baby wearing deserves to be put on the same kind of pedestal, I guess. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
if your baby hates baby wearing, if your baby hates the baby carrier, if that's what you believe, there's so many things to try first to just see if that's truth. And
Hmm.
if it's true that your baby really doesn't like being in the carrier, and we've troubleshoot and tried, again, super easy things like, are you hitting baby's rooting reflex? Are they bopping their head and arching their
Hmm.
back because they want to nurse because you're
Hmm.
where they're on your body? Is there a strap hitting that rooting reflex? Is one of their legs more uncomfortable than the other? Is the weight distribution hurting your back so you're compensating and then they're feeling it? There's so many reasons why. Are you just in the wrong carrier that you don't know how to adjust and doesn't fit your body? There's so many reasons why your baby
Hmm.
probably hates the carrier, and
Hmm.
we can often flip that on its head and have a
Yeah.
baby that absolutely loves to be carried and a mom that is healthy and vibrant because she's getting that support with something that she's already got to do all day
Hmm.
long.
It's worth it to be able to baby wear, yeah, to have that support.
Yeah.
And if anyone is looking for support from you, where can they find you?
Yeah, they can find me. I'm pretty active on my Instagram. I try to post like daily or every other day a tip or something baby wearing related. And I love to do it, and I
Mhm.
find it so fun to make that space positive and encouraging. So they can find
I
me on my
follow you there
Instagram.
and I love you. Yeah.
Yeah, same with you. And yeah, so my Instagram is at your.babywearing.bestie. And yeah, it's this really sweet place that is growing and just an awesome space, I hope, for people to learn and explore and not be shy and feel secure holding their baby.
Mhm. Amazing. Oh, well, thank you so much for talking to us today. I feel like we've covered,
Thank
everything from
you.
the benefits of baby wearing to some tips for how to do it more safely. And we're going to be recording a Q&A episode after this one, so it might already be out by now if you're listening a little bit after this episode has been released. So be sure to go and check out that Q&A episode next, and we will see you in there. Bye for now.
Bye.